Around now is when you should start having your return staff and or warp staff users ready. The game does give you, well, you'll see, some time with which to reposition your characters. You won't actually be able to access the bottom half of the map for a little while, but you should try and get as close to that area as possible for several reasons. But, and this is something I really do need to say now, you should keep about 5 or so characters at Thove Castle. In particular, there should be as many bow users in this group as you can possibly fit. Ideally, all of them should be there. That's Midale, Jumuka, and Bridget. And whoever has the wing clipper should also stay and guard this castle. Now, of course, since I'm doing this, I'm going to have to leave Dew up here too, because I need him to stay next to Bridget the whole time, because like I've said, no real easy pairings to make for Bridget, but you've got to make sure she is paired in the first place, otherwise you'll really regret it. This castle capturing conversation really is nothing special. Yeah, basically you find out that all the townspeople hated Lord Myos, as if it wasn't obvious. And don't be concerned if you don't have people down the bottom of the map after you capture that castle. You'll see. Of course, here is the conversation between Sylvia and Claude. For some reason, my translation patch occasionally leaves off the E in Claude. It's pretty obvious, I'm not using the latest one. That is quite a funny line, though. This makes a lot more sense if you've actually seen Sylvia's official art, which actually really does look like she's in her underwear. In the game itself, it doesn't really depict her like that. Now this is really odd. I don't know why it starts playing the cheerful music when she talks about the fact that her parents are dead and she was raised by a really cruel person. I think personally, these two pieces of music that play during this conversation should have been the other way round. Of course, some people have been bringing up the possibility that Sylvia could be his sister, but yeah, it's never really directly implied, and, well, I don't really like that assumption because, well, let's just say there's already enough incest in this game as there is. And after that conversation, I really start thinking differently about Sylvia. I know she sort of seemed kind of like a slut at the beginning, but was kind of obvious seeing that his brother was a fairly minor boss. And looks like we'll have to deal with another Pegasus attack. But, unfortunately, that mage down the bottom is still blocking the way to Selisia, so... at the moment, we actually can't do anything about this. And you can't fly over the mountains either, there's some kind of invisible wall there. And anyway, I mean, I doubt even if she was promoted, Fury could handle all these enemies at once. Thankfully, even though you can't get there, you've still got some form of defense for Selisia Castle. Mahnya is about to go and lead her Pegasus Knight squad. So now all 4 of Selesia's angelic knights are involved in the conflict. Again, in case you don't remember from before, they are Dietvar, who is kind of dead after failing miserably trying to attack Beowulf. Pamela, who is now attacking Selisia. Mahnya, who, well, is here, and Fury. Strangely enough, they're neutral rather than allies. Well, no real difference apart from the fact that they have a different theme. And despite the fact that... well, just using the return ring to get Sigurd back to the main castle. Despite the fact that Selisia Castle has officially become aware of the attack, you actually can't go there yet because the mage is still blocking the way there. So, at this point, really, all you can do is just send as many characters back to your main castle as possible, and try and get as close to that blocking mage as you can. Because once something happens, and you're able to move on, you'll need to rush ahead as fast as possible. For the moment, though, Mahnya's squad and Pamela's squad are about to have a massive fight that will give you time to get people back down the south end of the map. I'm pretty sure this particular Pegasus Knight duel, as it was, is what gives the chapter its name, the Dance in the Sky. Yes, as I said, whoever has the Wing Clipper should stay and guard this top castle. And getting ready to return staff more people down there. And Sylvia can now dance for Claude for some cheap experience. She has been doing that every turn, I just cut out most of it, because it isn't that interesting. There is a reason I have Tailchew down here. There's something coming up that she will benefit from a bit. Yes, and we can promote Jumuka now. A lot of promotions happening in this chapter. In fact, by the end of this chapter, everyone is going to be promoted except Arden, Noish, Alec, and Tailchew. Which is actually what you, well, should be aiming for, at least if you're going for a good experience rank. Jumuka doesn't really change all that much after promotion. He's still got that massive strength stat, but has problems in most other areas. The main problem with him now, though, is you have Bridget, who has even better strength, and much higher skill, speed, and luck. But having another sniper in a chapter with so many enemy Pegasus Knights is always a good thing.